some Lauri Markkanen news, and the Kings are very interested, and they are monitoring Lauri Markkanen's situation with the Utah Jazz. Not really surprising, to a extent, somewhat surprising though. But let's talk about it because Jake Fisher out of Yahoo Sports is reporting that the Kings are keeping tabs on how the Utah Jazz will be handling their offseason as the franchise weighs in its options regarding the 7-foot All-Star forward Lauri Markkanen. Markkanen, 28, is entering his final year of his contract, $18 million, and the Jazz could look to cash in on the 7th pick of the 2017 NBA draft. While Sacramento's interest comes as no surprise, they have also been widely linked to New Orleans Pelicans forward Brandon Ingram and Washington Wizards forward Kyle Kuzma thus far in the offseason. It might be difficult for the Kings to bring Markkanen to the Golden One Center. Per Fisher's report, Utah will want Sacramento's forward Keegan Murray in a potential swap for Markkanen. A loss that will sink as the 4th pick from the 2022 NBA draft has shown immense potential to be a two-way threat. And, there's no surprise. Keegan Murray is a hot name, and based on what the Utah Jazz want, they want Keegan Murray. And then Fisher goes on to say that in addition to Golden State, Sacramento and San Antonio have been the two other teams characterized by league figures with knowledge of the situation as strong as possible suitors for Markkanen at this point. For the Kings to land Markkanen, NBA personnel believe the Jazz will require Sacramento's to part with Keegan Murray, and that might leave other trade options like Brandon Ingram as a more palatable outcome for the Kings. So let's get this crystal clear, and let's get this out of the way. Danny Ainge is the Jazz GM, and he has spoken highly of Keegan Murray. Coming out of the draft when the Kings drafted Keegan Murray back in 2022, Danny Ainge was actually trying to trade up to get Keegan Murray in the draft. It was Danny Ainge and it was Greg Popovich. For those of you that don't know, Popovich from the Spurs, Danny Ainge being Danny Ainge, they were trying to get Keegan Murray in that draft. The Kings did not trade Keegan Murray, or did not trade that pick. They selected Keegan Murray. And I feel like Keegan Murray is going to be a Sacramento King. I don't think Keegan Murray... Doesn't make any sense to include Keegan Murray in the trade for Lauri Markkanen. And let me explain. You trade for Lauri Markkanen, you have to give it Keegan Murray. That leaves what other forward on the Kings besides Lauri Markkanen? Exactly. You're not going to have no other forward alongside Lauri Markkanen. Yes, you will have your trio with Fox, Sabonis, and Markkanen. You will have your trio. But what else will you have besides that? The Kings will be in a hole if they trade Keegan Murray for Lauri Markkanen. Defensively, and just that two-way threat that Keegan Murray brings to the Kings, I'm not ready to trade Keegan Murray for Lauri Markkanen. That doesn't mean Lauri Markkanen is not a good enough player. He's a very good basketball player. He's a proven basketball player. He's a star, and he's a proven all-star. He's a very good damn basketball player. If the Kings can utilize their draft capital to get Lauri Markkanen without giving up Keegan Murray, sign me up. I am all for signing off on a Lauri Markkanen deal that doesn't include Keegan Murray. And this is why Brandon Ingram might be the more easy to get player, because I think you can throw a lot of draft capital at Brandon Ingram, and the Pelicans front office, they would be willing to accept the deal without including Keegan Murray. I think Brandon Ingram would be most likely to be dealt with without Keegan Murray, whereas opposed to Lauri Markkanen. And the Kings have leverage. They have draft capital. They have what these teams want, and that is draft capital. But you're not going to give away your up-and-coming superstar, your second-year two-way threat that's going to be going into a monster year. Keegan Murray's going to have a monster year 3 because he's playing for an extension, and he's going to get that extension no matter what. We'll see what the numbers are looking like, but Keegan Murray potentially is going to be your max extension. And I think that there's a good chance the Kings do not trade him at all. So with that being said, I want to hear from you guys, though. Let me know your guys' thoughts, Sacramento. Would you trade Keegan Murray in a potential deal for Lauri Markkanen? Let me know your guys' thoughts, because me personally, I wouldn't do it. That's not to say Markkanen's not that good of a player. He's a very damn good basketball player. But you're trading Keegan Murray. It just doesn't make any sense to trade Keegan Murray for Lauri Markkanen, and then you have no other forward. Lauri Markkanen, if you can get a deal done without giving up Keegan Murray, yes, sign me up. Lauri Markkanen can give you weak side help on the defensive end next to Sabonis, and he can spread the floor, and he can put him in the pick and roll with De'Aaron Fox. and you can play him alongside Sabonis. That duo would work down the front line, and that with Keegan Murray. I like Lauri Markkanen a lot. I think he can do wonders for the Sacramento Kings. I'm just not ready to give up Keegan Murray for Lauri Markkanen. So with that being said, guys, I want to hear from you guys though. Let me know, and we'll see, man. The Kings are linked to Kyle Kuzma. They've been linked to Kyle Kuzma for quite a while now. They've been linked to Brandon Ingram, and nothing has surfaced since yesterday's speculation that they're trying to trade for Brandon Ingram. And now today, Lauri Markkanen is rumored to be in discussion for the Sacramento Kings. Let's face it, the Kings are linked to one of these three forwards. They got to get it done. They have to get it done. There's no excuses for this. You've been linked to Kuzma for so long. You're linked to Lauri Markkanen, and now you're linked to Brandon Ingram as well. You got to get it done, man. These are one of the names that is going to ascend your team and then be in the Western Conference contention to come out of the Western Conference. You got to add one of these forwards. But it should not cost you Keegan Murray to add one of these forwards, is what I'm saying. So with that being said, anything breaks news, I will keep you guys updated. Greatly appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in. I will catch you guys in the next video.